Hello everybody, it is time for another vlog video. So, not much has changed since the last one. I've just been working a lot, and that's why I haven't been able to upload interesting enough videos, I guess. Whenever I think of it, I try to put up something that I hope all of you will enjoy. I do have a big backlog of like light bulb videos, some fixture videos as well, things that I've taken when I was home, so I definitely have that kind of content. But I'd like to do more content of the things I have here too. You know, I found things at the ReStores and things like that. I should do more of that stuff and leave the backlog for when I maybe run out of recent items. But anyway, in today's vlog, we'll go ahead and take a look at some clips from a ReStore back home that I forgot to add to the last vlog. I've also acquired some interesting things since the last vlog as well. Most recently, I've acquired another 70-watt high-pressure sodium floodlight from Goodwill. I think it was like $8 or something. I think it's brand new. Probably was a display item because the wires were never twisted. You know, they looked brand new, like it was never hooked up before, but it was dusty, so that's why it's my guess that it was a display item or something like that. Behind that, the most recent thing was an iMac G5 20-inch. It's this thing right here. When I acquired it, it did not work. Well, it would power on and all that kind of stuff. I have clips of that too, and I don't know if I'll add them here. It was mostly me just trying to figure out why it wouldn't work. Obviously, though, it was a capacitor issue. So I replaced all the bad capacitors on the motherboard, and here it is, working like a charm. I picked this thing up for $13, and it works great. I really want to make a video on this thing. I've always wanted an iMac G5. I think it's a very underrated, underappreciated iMac in the lineup of its evolution to where it is today. Anyway, so that's that. I got the floodlight. It's down here, so you can see it's got some dust on it inside, but I just twisted these wires together at the store so I could test the fixture, and it works. But as you can also tell, the bulb doesn't have many hours on it at all either. I think it's there you go. That's the company. Plenty of stickers on this. Maybe it came from 2007, so it's been sitting around for a while. I'm not sure if Home Depot or Lowe's or what store sold this particular kind, but I've seen them everywhere on apartment buildings and things like that. So that's real interesting. And I guess I picked up some bulbs the other day at a place that I was servicing. They were in a recycle bin, and all of them work. I don't know, I don't think I have one sitting around here. Oh, here's one of them. So this thing is one of those GEs with the halogen capsule inside. So when it turns on at first, it lights up the halogen capsule. And then once the CFL part of the bulb reaches a certain brightness, I'm not sure how that's determined, if it's through current flow in the tube or just a timer delay or something like that, it'll turn off the halogen capsule, and then you'll just have the CFL running. This is a 100-watt equivalent version. It says it's 1600 lumens, but it works just like new. And I picked up some other things as well out of that recycle bin that looked like they would work just fine. So anyway, enough of me rambling about these things. Let's go ahead and take a look at some content from the ReStores and thrift stores. This is at one of the ReStores back in Wisconsin. I forgot to add this clip in the last vlog. Ended up stopping at this on our way back from the airport, and I've been to this one before. This is where I picked up the McGraw-Edison, it's like the styled 175-watt mercury vapor area light, as well as the GE 100-watt mercury vapor area light as well. Both came from this ReStore. And I picked up, before the ReStore moved to this location, like a box of 50-some 100-watt mercury vapor bulbs for $20, a whole box. That was pretty cool. So this ReStore has moved, well, once, but it looks like they've moved things around since the last time I was here. The lighting is now here. It used to be on the other side of the store. But nothing too incredibly interesting other than the low and high bay fixtures that they do have on display here, which we'll show a clip of in a minute. Here they are. Now, I would have loved to pick one of these up, especially that any of the low bay ones with the refractor on the bottom. Those would be cool, but I don't have any place to use something like that. So this is at the ReStore back in Washington here. I have one of these lamps, except it's red, but I thought it would be interesting to share. Here in the video, there's a white one. This is just another one of those typical vanity lights. However, the bulbs in it are what is interesting here. There's some Panasonic CFLs, electronic, but cool. Here is a 13 watt PL post top fixture. However, it's missing all of its sides, but you can see the ballast here, so I tried to get a little bit of information about this thing. It doesn't look too old. It was made in 2018, which is surprising. I would have expected it to be electronic or something, but oh, it's preheat. And here are some Sears 100 watt. Well, that's originally what was in the box anyway. It appears that they've scratched that out and put 75 watt on it. Well, here's what's inside 75 watt bulbs. I'm guessing these are made by Westinghouse. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not too sure, but for some reason, something is saying Westinghouse to me. But very cool. I didn't pick these up. These are at a Goodwill. The sad part is that I probably should have, because the next time I went, the packaging was totally destroyed. People just shred things apart at this Goodwill. On the other side of the box were these Sylvania 75 watt bulbs. Another very nice designed package. Very cool. A little further down is this electronically ballasted three-way circle line adapter. It uses a 30 watt bulb. Interesting. It does have the extra contact there for a three-way socket. I should have tried it out in one of the lamps they have, but I didn't think of it at the time. Here is another ReStore. This one I haven't been to before, so it's all new to me. So let's go ahead and take a look around. As you can see, we have our typical lighting affair, but we do have bulbs in these interestingly constructed containers. We have loose ones in some and boxed ones in others. It seems like they organized them the best they could. They have some different controls, CFLs in this one, some floodlight bulbs in that one, traditional incandescents, and this 175 watt mercury vapor bulb. I did pull it out and look at it, and it looked like it suffered some type of damage, so I wasn't too interested in picking it up if it didn't work, or at least have the potential of working. On this side, of course, I'm always looking for industrial fixtures. And here's one at the end. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks to be fluorescent of some type. And of course this RAB floodlight, but they seem to know what the price is on that. Here's some interesting stuff. I have one of these in my collection. I'm not sure if there's a video up of it, but it's a little incandescent GE nightlight. I always thought it looked like a street light, a pretty cool thing. So this is another new ReStore that I haven't been to before. And they have the typical stuff that you would find, naturally, but there wasn't anything interesting enough for me to pick it up. However, the most interesting part about this ReStore was actually the lighting that they had, or the lighting that they used to have, but is still there. So if we pause the video here, if you look at the ceiling, there's those silver circles, and then of course the typical flat panel LED things that are showing up everywhere. But those circles are actually high bay fixtures that are in the ceiling, and they cut out the false ceiling panels so that they would fit through, and you can see them throughout the store there once in a while. But they're pretty cool. I've never seen anything like this in a store, at least with a ceiling this low too. Here's a Sylvania tanning lamp. It's one of those that uses a self-ballasted mercury vapor bulb. This particular bulb is a mogul base bulb. It would have been nice if it was a medium base one, because then you could have changed it out for a typical bulb or something else if you wanted to use it just as an, a item to light a room rather than getting a tan. But those fixtures are interesting. It was missing the knob on the back though. Otherwise, it would have been a neat thing to pick up maybe. Here's some typical Sylvania bulbs and some Super Saver XL bulbs. These are interesting. I've never really seen them in person before. However, our apartment here in Washington does have one of these in a closet. Of course, I changed it out for a PL adapter while we are living here because I love that preheat action. But anyway, that was the first time I've ever seen one in person, so it was cool to see a package of these. I didn't pick them up again because I don't really have a use for them or anything like that, but cool to find. iMac G4 speakers. Pretty neat stuff. I've been wanting to pick up a pair of these, but I didn't want to pay online prices, so for $5, now was the time. Some pretty cool GE soft white miser bulbs there. They're 95 watt, and I have one of those in my collection, but it was neat to find them in a package. I did pick these up. These are GE 60 watt flare frosted bulbs. They do have the candelabra base, but the whole idea behind it is that I love that they're still in their original shipping box. I don't know if they would have shipped them in that box, but their original carton. There was another one, a brand new box as well. I picked both of them up because I love the older design. My parents came out for a week, and it was very nice to see them, and I showed them around the beautiful city of Seattle here. Of course, I showed them the surrounding area. We went to the ocean and saw all the typical attractions that the city has to offer. But it was nice to also explore myself because I haven't had a lot of time to go out and do a lot of these attractions, such as the underground tour. I've been doing a lot of working. Here we are at the second use place, and they have this beautiful old wide light 400 watt mercury vapor is what it used to be, I think is what it said on the tag there, but now it looks like it has a metal halide bulb in it, so maybe it was they put a different ballast in it or something. But I really like the square design of it, very cool. It has a nice older Phillips bulb inside of it, very neat. Of course they wanted a lot of money for it, no surprise there. Next to it, however, was a Norelco 175 watt mercury vapor area light. It was missing its refractor, but I didn't pick it up. It was $5 though, that's reasonable enough, but I didn't know if it worked or not, and I don't really have a spot for that. I have about 1,000 of them back home, so pretty cool to find though. Their bulb section is a little different. We have these giant 100 watt globe bulbs there. And here are some other interesting ones. This designer bulb by Sylvania is actually it's a little flood bulb in there. Pretty neat, but I don't have a use for it, so I didn't pick it up. These things are really weird. They're candelabra-based candle bulbs, but they were dipped in like silicone or something. It looks like they're for a special chandelier or something. I bet they really smell when they heat up that silicone. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but there it is. And this is the big Goodwill in Seattle, the one that I found the iMac G5 at. Here is a Lights of America 50 watt high pressure sodium wall pack. This one is electronically ballasted. I'm not sure if they ever made a version like this that wasn't electronic. I know Lights of America made a lot of electronically ballasted things. Didn't pick it up, don't really have a use for it, but you can see some fluorescent fixtures there. Here's some older CFLs. This one isn't that old, but it is a candle shape, I suppose. These are neat just because of how old they are. They're max light. It would have been cool if they were a funny design or something like that, but this obviously was when the spiral design was just coming out because they talk about it right there on the front of the packaging. Obviously a very common thing nowadays, but interesting. So I'm very interested in retail, malls, and then of course dead malls, urbex, all that kind of stuff is really interesting to me. But when I heard that Fry's Electronics wasn't doing so good and may close soon in the next year, I wanted to document our local store. This is in Renton, and I'm pretty sure it's the only Fry's Electronics in all of Washington. So pretty cool. I really enjoy going to this place, and I filmed the whole building, so a video like that will hopefully be coming here in the future. This is the Shops at Riverside Mall in Aberdeen, Washington. I really hope I said the town's name right. But I filmed this whole mall. I thought it was really interesting. They still have one anchor, Sears, and the Sears is really old. It's really cool to go through it and see how, how stuck in time it is. Like I said, I really enjoy these types of things. So I did a whole video on this place, and hopefully that'll be coming soon as well. But here's the center. Well, I've already shown you this one, But I also picked this one out of the recycle bin. It's an IKEA. I believe it's made by Mega Man, or one of those companies that made the bulbs for IKEA. Not as old as the ones with the extra little loop at the bottom, but definitely not as new as the spiral ones that they had there towards the end before they switched to LED. But anyway, as you can tell, there's not much usage on the ends of the tubes here, so it works just fine. No issues with that at all. I also found these blacklight bulbs in there. This one doesn't have a brand name on it. I'm pretty sure it's one of those that you get around Halloween time in some generic packaging, because it's just 120 volt, 75 watt China. But it does work. No issues there. This one is a brand name, however. It is a GE 60 watt, 120 volt Korea. And they both work. So I'm not sure why they ended up in the recycle bin. You don't really have to recycle those. Of course, these you'd want to because they're CFLs. And then I had a little candle bulb, 25 watt Fiat or Fight Electric incandescent that I'm using in a lamp. But that's all that I picked out of the recycle bin. But this is the bin that I just put my bulbs in that I find. A lot of these are just empty boxes. This is an empty box because I'm using these in our can lights in the kitchen. But, yeah, so there's that. I forgot to make an ending clip, so here is one of my streetlights. I don't think I've uploaded a video of this one yet. If not, it will be coming soon. Anyway, I really do hope you enjoyed this vlog. I really want to do more videos for this channel, but it's hard when you're, working long weeks. So, whenever I have a chance to edit things together like this, I definitely take the time to do so because I do really want to produce content for all of you. Once again, I really do hope you enjoyed this video, and also please comment, rate, share, and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.